Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
My bite's not close to my bark, buddy. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement. If they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Most people are not willing to work hard, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I'm not judging you if you don't want to work hard. Just fuck you if you're going to complain about it. That's what I have a problem with. That's the lazy, ambitious group, and they're scary as hell. They want everything, but they're not willing to work for anything, right? Because they'll do things that'll destroy the golden goose to try to get what they want now. So it's okay if you don't want to work hard. I'm totally okay with that. Hey, you want to go fucking live on the beach and live off the land and fucking pedal to get shit? Great. That could be your lifetime. That's what you want to do. There is zero judgment in my heart. Just don't ask the world to change to fit your fucking lifestyle.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
What is up, my beautiful people of YouTube and Twitter? We're throwing Twitter up in here. Nice to see you, everybody that is on Twitter this morning. I don't even know if I can read your comments on this side of the screen, to be honest with you, but welcome. This is my third show in a row, live streamed on Twitter. We will be, obviously updating some of the information. I don't know why I'm not sure if it's in my ears or what, but it sounds like a little weird. I'm not sure why it sounds weird, but it does sound weird for me. I don't know why I got to turn this all the way up to hear myself. But either way, hopefully you guys can hear me well. Before we get started, I just want to say good morning to everybody, but I got some fan mail from a special person. I do not want to give this person's name and will not disclose the person's name. But I did want to give a beautiful shout out to lovely people. It says Bullhorn Betty. As I sit here writing I am so disgusted with the way the trolls are doing the things that they do to you. You and I both know they are just jealous of you. You just need to ignore every one of them. Let your mods delete as fast as they can. All they want is to get a rise out of you. That is what they love. That is the attention you give them. As long as they know they can upset you, they will not stop. Keep doing the good work that you do. You have more supporters than haters. Hold your head high and just tell yourself, fuck the haters and love the supporters. You got this, girl. So the beautiful person that took the time out to write me that beautiful letter, thank you for the kind words, your graciousness. God bless you. But I love that letter. And again, I'm not going to repeat or state the person's name, the audience member here, because we have people that stalk us, right? That follow us around online and offline and will attack our subscribers, members, and supporters. I don't know why they do that. Apparently, it makes them feel good. Go figure. So I just thought that was really sweet. Those are the kinds of things that really brighten my day when I'm here. I know I've received a lot of letters over the last 2 years thanking me, some from preachers, some from other members of our society that are higher up the food chain. And I'm just very blessed. And I'm very blessed that we've been able to take this channel in the direction it's been going. And I'm really happy. So thank you all, because it would not be possible without each and every one of you. TD Dean, nice to see you. First to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty in chat. Nani Sunshine, it's nice to see you. Bullhorn Betty is right under Bullhorn Betty's cranky pants. So I was just about to fall. You guys know this is a live show, so sometimes I misspeak. And I was just about to say Bullhorn Betty is present, but Cranky Pants is right under me. So I was about to say Bullhorn Betty's cranky. I'm not cranky. I'm actually having a wonderful morning. The morning has been great. I've been up since like 2:30 this morning. So I'm starting to get back into, at least for the last 2 mornings, I've been, back into the routine again, which I said would subside after the summer break, but we never quite got back to things. Nikki, it's nice to see you. Good morning, Miss Potty Mouth in the house. Aurora, the real me too. I hope you are doing great. I really do. I know you've been having some complications, but I do hope everything is working great for you. Newman's aunt, it's nice to see you. Lulu's Nana, Jessica, Zero Fox Given, I hear that. Darlene, it's nice to see you. Crystal, Skittles. Good morning, Second Thesis. Elsie, it's nice to see you, love. Jules is up in the house today. Good morning, Jules. You are loved. Regina, good morning. Who else do we have up in the house this wonderful morning? I don't know what that says. See you later. Good morning. Good morning, Cranky Pants. Jessica, Teresa. I think that's about it. I really do. I think that's about it. Skittles Crime Podcast. I love that. I love that. I'm actually going I just did my very first, for all those involved, I did my very first playlist. And of course, it's Bryan Kohberger, Idaho 4. So if you guys would like to check out all the stuff that we've had on Idaho 4, the Bryan Kohberger case, prior to him even being named, that's in that specific playlist that you guys can go grab on the YouTube channel. Before we get started this morning, we do have some slight horrible news today. And it's really sad. I have to be honest with you. It's heartbreaking. So you guys know that yesterday we ran, just a small story on a young autistic boy that was nonverbal. They stated he was 3 years old. I don't think he was 3. I think he was almost 2, or maybe 2 to 3. I don't know. I'm a little foggy because one article says 3, other articles say 2. So again, just a little foggy. Not that I'm misrepresenting anything. It's just that if I don't have the information, obviously I'm not there. I don't know, right? All I can tell you is that there's several different articles. Some refer to this boy as 3 years old. Some refer to him as 2 years old. So I'm uncertain. He was found yesterday. He was spotted a couple times yesterday. Law enforcement kept trying to follow him, and they ended up finding him in a pond. So it was a pretty hard, they were so close to finding him. It was just so hard for them. And they tried. Law enforcement tried to find this little guy running around. So I got a little more information. I got to be honest with you. I started getting, a little concerned about this case because, when in lack of information or facts or conversations from law enforcement providing, information to the public, in light of that, when we don't have any information and we don't have, facts, or we don't really know a lot, because they withheld this boy's name. They withheld a lot. And I was kind of weird about that. I don't understand what the purpose of withholding a child's name is. But it might be a precautionary measure because this place is crazy and there are some sickos out there, and maybe they didn't want the whole world knowing what this young boy's name was until they found him. Well, he was being watched by a babysitter. At first, when I first read about this story, it sounded like he was with his family, something happened, and he was but it was so vague that we didn't really have a whole lot to go on. All we could really do is just show this boy's face. We didn't even have his name. And I looked and looked and looked, and nobody was releasing his name because law enforcement never released this young boy's name, which I thought, in my opinion, I don't agree with that. You got a child out there that's missing. People need to get a hold of him. Maybe somebody calling his name may have got him out of the area, or at least made him feel like he was familiar. I don't know why they did it. I don't really have, I kind of question it a little bit, but I don't, whatever they choose to do, whether they have his name or not, it doesn't really matter as long as people are searching for him. But it was just an odd situation when we're trying to find a 2 or 3 year old kid, and law enforcement is is literally telling us to our face they're not releasing the kid's name. But go look for him if you can. It was just really weird. But they did get several calls in yesterday of sightings, and his name was Jermaine, by the way. So I'm going to turn this over. We just want to say some prayers. You know, you can say them in the chat with prayer hands, or you can say them personally to yourself for this family. But when we hear these things, all we can do in light of nothing to do is pray. You know, we can't take the pain away from this family. We can't make this pain better. We can't bring their child back. We can't change the situation for them. We don't know why this family is going through all of this. All we can do is pray for them. Pray for some type of healing. You know, it's going to be very hard to come by for a family that, you know, loves their child, and a horrific accident happened and the child lost his life as a result of that. So before we get started, I just want to give you guys an update on this particular case. Again, it's very sad, and I'm sorry to bring such horrible news, but we do have some better news on the backside of this. So, you know, we'll take the good when we can take the good as well.
At this point, we don't rule anything out, but at this point, we do not suspect foul play at all. But we will not. That's why we have the medical investigators coming here. That's why there'll probably be an autopsy. We want to cross all of the T's and dot all the I's. Anything else? Oh yeah, I've said it multiple times, but I can't thank them enough. We're very, very fortunate to live in this county where people come together during tragic times. So, thank you. Whenever we have a missing person, but especially a missing child, we're always hoping to find the person or the child that's going to be. We were hoping until we found out otherwise. We were hoping that he would be found alive, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Well, happy birthday, Jules.
This is something that we all have been training for years. I mean, whenever there's a large-scale incident, this is what we train for. And enforcement agencies, all of the volunteer groups, all of the, you know, Salvation Army, you know, the Fabianos providing food. I mean, we have more food and water than we could ever go through. I mean, it's just a testament to our community, like I said. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many, which is normal in something like this. But I would like to thank everyone once again in front of the media for all the help that everybody provided. We can't thank them enough.
I can tell you that watching this, we're not going to spend too much time on it because obviously it's a sad story. And we just want to say prayers to the family. And, you know, there's really not a whole lot we can do. This just really turned out to be absolutely horrible. There was another case that happened. I didn't run it yesterday. And where is it? Hold on a second. I need to find it. I didn't run it yesterday, but it was of Paisley. What was her name? Her name was Paisley. I was just looking for it. Hold on a second. I know I've got it here somewhere. But she was actually found. Let me look her up again. I must have accidentally. Paisley Grayson. She was a beautiful little girl that disappeared, and I had received some information on her to do the case. But because we were talking about Bryan Kohberger, and I knew that was going to go on, I only have so much, so much of a window to put other stuff in. And so I opted to put the little boy that was, because when I read this case, I knew that she was with her. Well, she was with an adult male. I assumed it was the father because of the way the reports were reading and some of the information that I had. So the reason why I chose to run with Jermaine's story as opposed to Paisley's story yesterday is because I felt that Paisley was would have been more safe, and that was the defining factor. I know that that's a really bad place for any content creator to be put in, to have to decide what case to run and what case not to run. But I felt that the importance was on the 2.5-year-old, and I did find out he's 2.5 years old. And so that's why I chose to do that. I'm glad I did, because we really needed all eyes on his case. But, because of the situation, she has been found safe and her father turned himself in. So I know that the first story is not the best, but at least the second story is. And Paisley was found safe. She was found healthy. Obviously it was a custody issue with her father. Although there was court orders and stuff that put her in danger, she wasn't in physical danger. And those were some of the criteria that I chose to use. So I just wanted to let you guys know about Paisley. And then before we start jumping into more information, we got a few small cases that I just wanted to bring attention to. But before we do, we always turn our attention over to Jennifer Santinello. Many of you guys know that this is a case that is passionate to me. I'm very passionate about this case because of some of the details in it. It just, this family does need all of our love, all of our support, and obviously attention to this case. But before I get there, I do want to make a big shout out. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. It's on my list, but just a big shout out to Dolly Vision. There's only a few of us that really go out and try to make an impact in the world and on the world by our ability to get out there and try to assist, whether it's commentating, reporting, searching, providing water, providing food, whatever it is needed in the community. We try to go out there and provide that. In some small instances, depending on the certain circumstances, yes, we have been known to protest, i.e. Bullhorn Betty, but that's not our primary goal. Our primary goal is assistance. We only use that, the protesting, as a way to bring attention to injustice. So Dolly is one of those people. He didn't used to always go out. And I do believe that Olivia and I really did create something by going out to these cases. It all started out with our own backyard, Jonathan and I collaborating on Gabby Petito, and then meeting Olivia. And Olivia and I traveled the country, and we were able to raise enough money to incorporate Jonathan in some of those travels around the country early on. Well, you guys know that Dolly never traveled, never flown, never did anything. Well, when we were talking early on, I told him the importance of this, and it almost like he got bitten, right? He got on a plane. Now he's over his fear of planes and he's ready to start traveling. And I'm so thankful, because this was a person that never left his home, right? He went to work, he did his YouTube, but he never really left. We at least inspired one person to get out there and look in these cases and help and search and be out there helping and searching. And I'm very, very happy. And I was so elated to see Dolly out in the field yesterday, helping in his own community. And what an amazing outcome. Yes, another amazing outcome. A 10-year-old girl that was missing had been found safe and had been found healthy. And I just want to make a public declaration to Dolly Vision and the work that he does. Thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for giving a crap. We need more people like that in this world.
It's on my heart to talk about Layla and who she is as a person. Layla is my daughter, and she's been missing since June 27th. of 2023. She was last seen in Eastone Commons in Kingsport around 12:30 on the 27th. She was wearing a white tank top, black leggings, and no shoes. My daughter is a force of nature. She's incredible. She's creative and talented in so many ways. She could paint, she could draw, she could graffiti, she could sing. Oh my gosh, she could sing. The most beautiful voice in the world. I say could because it's been 3 months since I've heard that voice. 3 long months. She is a daughter and a mother and a sister and a cousin. Her personality contradicts itself. She's loving and giving and has a huge heart. She can also be incredibly selfish and fixate and obsess on the one thing it is that she wants and do anything in her power to get it. She's resourceful. She's willful. She's beautiful. She's everything that I am not. Strong, powerful. She's the type of person that people notice when they walk in a room. She fills up the space with her energies. She's larger than life. She's this tiny little person that exudes so much energy. Her beingness is enormous. She's a lover. She loves with her whole heart, her entire being. Her love language is gift giving. She loves little gifts. Could be anything, just a sticker, anything at all. She loves to give, even the smallest of things, and she loves to receive. She has a temper and can be very emotional. She's an incredibly beautiful soul, and she matters. Her being gone matters. The emptiness that she has left in all of our lives, it matters. People aren't just who they are, right? We are all something different to everyone in our lives. If you know my daughter personally, and I know you're here, I know a lot of her friends are here. If you know her personally, I would absolutely love for you to stitch this with your experience of who Layla is to you. Or you can stitch it with a video or photos of Layla and express that way the personality that you know and love. I would absolutely love that. I mean, I would love that. So thanks in advance.
All right, so there you go. I hope that you guys go over to her TikTok page, pass this around, because again, she's wanting to hear from people that knew her daughter. This is how she's able to deal with all of this. I don't know how Jennifer is even getting up and moving, and she has other children, including Layla's 2-year-old daughter, Nova Grace, that she is taking care of all by herself, and lost her job. So again, if you guys would like to support the family, they have ongoing PI costs as well as raising the reward fund. The reward fund hasn't really gotten all that much traction. I mean, it's gotten a significant traction on it, but it needs to be funded more. It needs to be funded more. And also there is a meal train for Jennifer Santinello and her family. If you guys would like to participate in that, please consider doing so. Again, this is family, as we're just going to wrap them with as much love as we possibly can. And that's where we are with Jennifer and Layla. And then, of course, we've already heard from the sheriff about the 2-year-old boy. This is one of the cases that I thought was interesting because this is a, oh, this is not the right one. Hold on 1 second. There it is. Because this is the one that bothers me a lot. This is an officer, and this came in quite some time, but this is a New Jersey cop accused of fatally hurting his infant daughter, and that daughter had 9 fractures in her skull. The months-long investigation started on December 11th, 2018, and determined her injuries were consistent with ongoing abuse. This was indicated by, obviously the medical professionals that did x-rays and autopsies and what have, and they did find there were processes of healing in some of those horrible injuries on this infant child. Investigators believe that Haley also suffered 4 fractured ribs weeks before. The nature of her injuries is an ongoing pattern. This was again, I don't want to spend too much time on this because of the nature of this. I can talk about it in very general terms. I'm not allowed to get graphic with it because it is talking about a child, but this is the face of evil. And what's so disturbing to me is this is a man that put on a badge and a uniform to protect us. And he hasn't protected his own daughter. And when I hear of these things, this stuff, like we hear horrible things that happen to children all the time. I mean, we do. It's a never-ending cycle all around the world, and it's quite horrible. But we have a certain expectation of people that are law enforcement. We expect them to handle themselves in a moral way and conduct themselves even off the clock in moral ways. That's the difference. When you're a government employee, you represent our government on the clock and off the clock. And that's the name of the game. This was an officer, and he did horrible things, and I thought it was important to bring that up. Now we're going to go over to, actually, I might do this tomorrow. This is I think I'll do this one tomorrow. This is our very own Grady Judd did another bust, and we will be talking about that. We're already a half hour in. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on anything else. So we're going to go ahead and move right on into Bryan Kohberger. And this, as many of you know, we heard yesterday about the article from Bloom. And like I said, I absolutely 100% believe that emails were engaged back and forth between Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. I've got good information, good intel that there were communications between Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. What made this story so horrible and so in such poor taste was the fact he basically, this author of this Airmare article basically accused Dylan and Bethany of chatting back and forth literally while this was going on. And that's not the information I have. So I'm pretty sure Steve, if I'm not mistaken, had already acknowledged that, which we discussed. He thinks that Bloom is just seeking attention, and the majority of this article is full of crap. But definitely there were communications, because I learned that Bethany had reached out to all the roommates, not Bethany, Dylan had reached out to all the roommates, not just Bethany. But Bethany was the only one that had responded to her. This, from my understanding and what I said way, way, way back then, this was not something that happened during this situation. It was my understanding that it was after. It was after that Dylan had seen Bryan Kohberger walking out of the house. She went in there. So it wasn't that they were awake and listening to all this stuff going on. It was just in poor taste. It's not like Dylan and Bethany aren't already under the gun with, the whole world over taking 8 hours to call law enforcement and knowing people were inside that home before they ever called law enforcement. So they don't need any more on them, especially lies, because all it's doing is inciting more people, in my opinion, to attack Bethany and Dylan, which are victims. I never said they weren't victims. People attacked me because I was bringing up relevant information that we're going to have to address at some point in this case, because we do have an 8-hour window for, from the time that they may have woke up to the time that they called law enforcement. They didn't call law enforcement until just a couple of minutes before noon. And we're hearing that people were inside that home as soon as 9 a.m. What took 3 hours to make those phone calls? So we did bring those up. We also brought up the fact that there are 3 unidentified male DNAs inside that home that have never been identified. They still don't know who they belong to. And these are things, the reason why we're bringing up these items is because these are things that the defense is going to use to help Bryan Kohberger. They are going to use the possibility from the time that the killing happened to the time that Bryan Kohberger went back to the house, and that next morning around 9, he was seen there at 9:12. I think the reason why he didn't go in the house, I have to be honest with you, I did think he went in that house that morning. I did. I truly believe that he went into that house, but that was well early on before Bryan Kohberger was ever even named, because we heard that one of the neighbors drove by the house and the front door was open between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. We just assumed with the probable cause affidavit showing him arriving at the home the next morning around 9:12, I just naturally assumed that there could have been a possibility of time issue, somebody forgetting the exact time, and that he could have very well went into that house. I thought he may have went in that house looking for the knife sheath or planting the knife sheath. Those were all theories that I had. I don't know if those are accurate, true or correct. I still don't know. But what we do know is that people were in that house. So that front door could have been left open because one of the kids came over. I don't know what was going on that caused this delay in reporting this crime. There may be a plausible explanation we're not thinking of. Do I think the girls were fearful? Yes, for a variety of reasons. There's still a reason. I just want to hear why they took that long of time to call. And I think once that, at least we hear, whether we like the information or not, I think it's really causing a distraction for the public. I think it's causing a distraction for everybody involved, other than law enforcement, the state, and the defense. I think this is a problem. But we're not going to be scared away from having those discussions. But I will tell you, like I've told everybody, you don't attack these people just because you don't agree with them, just because you think that they may be, but you don't go and hound them on email and social media condemning them, because at the end of the day, you don't know what happened. And you didn't even do anything but research online to find out what happened. You need to do more when you're accusing somebody. You need to have interviews. You need to find out who they are. You need to have a good understanding of who the person is. And but here's the question that was presented. On a scale, actually, I don't think I can do this. You guys are going to have to just do it in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, based on what we know, how confident are you, the audience, that Bryan Kohberger went in that house and killed those 4 college kids? I would like to know your opinion on a scale to 1 to 10. How confident are you that Bryan Kohberger is the responsible party for this heinous crime? If you guys would like to put that in the chat, go ahead and put that in the chat. A few people have responded on here saying DNA, no alibi, and phone data showing he was canvassing the area. No alibi isn't why he's guilty. He clearly was a loner with no friends. There is a great combination of factors, but great part of prosecution case is proving that the defendant was at the crime scene and therefore has no alibi. So a lot of people are coming back here with the whole alibi situation. Jets Mama, thank you for being, I appreciate it. There's no wrong or right answer in here. This is just to gauge the audience. I truly believe that Bryan Kohberger is guilty. I feel like he's 100% guilty, but I haven't received the evidence. So to be fair for my assessment, I think he's absolutely guilty. I would normally give him a 10, but, since I am cautious and conservative, I will say an 8. I'm highly confident, but not a 10. Not a 10. Also, the whole white Elantra situation. We're still fighting with that investigative genetic DNA, and I'm wondering how that's going to turn out. But they did stop the stay, which is kind of a moot point, anyways, because he waived his right to a speedy trial, in my opinion. So it really doesn't matter at this point. I'm glad that the defense realized this, that trying to gun this down the road was not a good strategy for them, because they're going to have to find ways to poke holes in the prosecution's very strong case against Bryan Kohberger. And I really believe that Bryan Kohberger is responsible because of the information we have so far. That doesn't mean anything, though. That doesn't mean anything. There was also another Reddit post, and what does it say? It says the guy's point makes a lot of sense. Beyond reasonable doubt is never happening in this case. I believe beyond reasonable doubt will actually happen in this case. If they can prove, and this is what I said from the gate, for all those that have been with me from the beginning of this particular case, the university murders, you guys probably have heard me say, I don't know, 100 times by now, at least 100 times by now, if they could prove even 75 or 85% of that probable cause affidavit in a court of law, he's done. He's cooked. He's cooked. Because if everything in that is true, then he's cooked. If they can prove that. Because I have a funny feeling that there's a few things. I hate when these things do this. Oh, yeah, because I shouldn't be able. I'm done using Fox News. Fox, you suck. Sorry, Mike. I can't stand your. I don't put the stuff on. I don't mind them running. I just don't want to hear them. And Fox News throws this with the loudest. It's just I hate Fox. I hate Fox. I'm starting to hate them anyways. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines this morning. This is not going to be a hugely long live because I've got other obligations that I've got to finalize and finish up. You guys probably already know what I'm talking about. But either way, I just don't have time today to spend a whole lot of time with you guys. But, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be good to go. So there's the phone lines right there. I'm just curious, how is my audience feeling about this case? Now, we've watched a lot of stuff happen. For most of us, we were on this case from literally day one. You guys have watched me go out there. We found multiple people that knew Bryan before he went to Washington State University. Olivia and I actually spoke to, how many people did we spoke? We spoke to one RSO that was living behind the house. We protected him and didn't let that interview out because I thought it was wholly unfair to this gentleman, to have attacks when he wasn't responsible. And people are going, how did you know he wasn't responsible? Because I was there and I interviewed him. Okay. That's how I know. And I looked into his story. That's how I know. Okay. That's how you eliminate crap. I don't need law enforcement telling me stuff. I'll go out there and find the information myself. But this one RSO, you could literally see their house from his house. It was really that close. But for this particular RSO, he had some issues at a younger age, a much younger age. He got himself kind of caught up into, a 3 or 4 age difference that caused him a lot of problems. He wasn't one that went out there and, forced or attacked or anything like that. It was an age issue, and granted, you break the law, you break the law. Okay. You guys know I'm a law and order person, but I'm also cognizant that some things aren't as egregious as other things. And so you have to look at that. He wasn't a violent person. He didn't have a violent history. He wasn't anything like that. So we had the childhood friend. We had the RSO, I had an opportunity to speak with Lieutenant, what was the lieutenant's name? Lanier. Opportunity to thank Lieutenant Lanier and speak to him. Of course, he didn't provide me any information that wasn't available to the public. I didn't get any insider information or anything like that. I had an opportunity to speak with Corporal Brett Payne. Again, no information was received, and I was able to thank him for his work. What else did we do? We did a lot. And I did remember when it was, and only M was correct. It was December 30th. We were there. I don't know how I could not spit that out of my mouth. I couldn't remember if it was the 30th or the 31st. But then when she said the 30th, I still couldn't remember. But after I got off the live, I realized, yeah, it was the 30th, because now I remember everything. We were in front of the house. They were bringing the cleaning crew in. Then we were notified that it was Bryan Kohberger. We went over to Bryan Kohberger's apartments at the Steptoe Apartments on campus at Wazoo. And we were there, and I remember now that we had to leave early because that was the same day that they had the celebration of life for Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez in Coeur d'Alene that Olivia and I were invited to attend. And I got to tell you, they were loved. Those girls were loved by so many people. I got to meet Jack. I got to give Jack a hug, and it was nice because those kids had been brutalized by social media, and nobody was sticking up for them. There was literally at this time possibly maybe a handful, 5 creators that were actually sticking up for these people and running the story and not going into the conspiracy theories and not just trying to destroy these young people's lives. And it was nice to be able to hug him and tell him we had your back, that we had your back. So it was good. Nice to see you, Emma. And everybody else that's come in that I haven't had an opportunity to say hi to. Good morning. Good morning. So that's really it. That's the show, guys. I wish I had 2 hours to spend with you today, but I do not. So I will be back here tomorrow. We'll be going over, I'm not quite sure, I have several shows kind of roaming about. So I've already got, shows set up. I just don't know what my show's going to be for tomorrow. I don't know which topic I'm going to talk about. It may be a new case. Which reminds me, before I let you guys go, let me move this back over here. All right, so before I let you guys go, there is some information that I would like to go over with you. So as you guys know, I've been doing a lot of search criterias. A lot of search criterias to look for cases that I think my audience will be interested in. Obviously, I can't run every case. There's entirely too many. That makes me sick to my stomach to tell you guys that. But I have to say, it's entirely too many, as you guys can imagine. So when I go through these, I'm looking at, the last 24 hours, what stories have come out, and I'm looking for those stories throughout the day. But there's a few of them that really just grabs me. And some of them just really, really piss me off. I'll be honest with you. Oh, good. That's not on the. I'm free from. I can pee. Okay, so it's not on the list. I don't have to put bucks in the swear jar for saying that. I looked. I checked it out. But there are some that just really, really piss me off and infuriate me. And this next case is that. It's one of these cases that infuriate me. That it's almost. And you guys wonder, you guys know I'm not violent, right? So when I'm in front of these really, really despicable people, and especially if they're running that gator, right? Trying to justify, it really does something to me. But see, I'm not violent. So I'm not going to hit somebody, right? I'm not going to go up there and just punch them right in their face and beat the crap out of them and drag them by their hair to the jail. I'd like to. Trust me, I'm sure everybody in here in my audience would love to. Right? This is one that I'm going to show you. It's probably going to infuriate you guys too. I got to be careful how I read this story, so just bear with me. Maybe I should put it bigger so you guys can read along. So I just in case, because there's only going to be so many words that I can use. As you guys can see, the title of this is not a very good one. And that's the problem I'm having right there, right out the gate. Whew. It's hard. It really is hard. And you guys are going to have to give it a second for it to get back on here, and we'll listen to it. But again, this is one that really infuriates me. Okay.
It's so wrong. I just couldn't figure it out at the time.
Grief and despair from the parents and grandparents of two victims, apparently the casualties of a domestic fight. Late Tuesday afternoon, authorities captured 31-year-old James Fulgham, the reported boyfriend of Zena Williams. A stunned Scott County community huddled around what was left of her home earlier in the day.
This is a small neighborhood. Everybody know everybody. So it just don't affect the family. It affect the friends of the family, school teachers. This is an 8-year-old child.
State Fire Marshal's investigators were poring over the remnants of the burned out home where Williams and her 8-year-old son Zacchaeus Williams were at first thought to have died because of the fire, but later discovered to have been shot and killed.
That's it. This world is getting dangerous. We all know how dangerous this world is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have one beautiful soul in here that has left an abusive situation. I learned about that over the last few days, that one of our own audience members has left an abusive situation. And I have to think that is, everybody had a hand in that. Sharing your experiences here in this chat. Talking to this person about your own experience probably gave them the courage to leave their own domestic violence situation. We may not change a lot of people's lives, but the ones that we do are forever grateful. If you are in an abusive relationship, I'm going to ask you to leave. Leaving is one of the most dangerous times in these situations. But if you're going out, you better be fighting, right? Because your fate is already written, because you know where you're going if you stay. At least leaving, you have a fighting chance. There's no guarantee that you'll survive the leaving, but you have to try. You're either going to die staying or you're going to die leaving. And I can tell you that the attempt to leave, if you are successful, think about how wonderful that would be, right? There are many women. There are a lot of women that are killed leaving. But there are 10 times more that have survived. It's still statistics. I don't know which number, who has what number. All I know is you don't deserve it. Your life matters. And if nobody told you they love you, I do. Leave. Take your kids to the grocery store, take them to school, and never go back again. Don't listen to their lies. Don't speak to them anymore. If things need to be moved and adjusted, you let family and friends handle it. You keep yourself away from that person. But get out. We are all proud. And again, I will not disclose the name of this person, but I will tell you that that one person, it doesn't matter about the 100. It matters about the one person that got out. The one person that's now safe and doesn't have to sleep with one eye open or wonder when the shoe's going to fall again or having to walk around in eggshells. They actually have an opportunity to live free and finally find out who they are and live their life for themselves. So congratulations. Anybody else that's out there that would like to leave a domestic violence situation, please reach out to the domestic hotline, 1-800-799-7233. What I can tell for the people that are out here that are not in abusive relationships, but you want to help, the best way you can help is know what your resources are in your community. So the best way you can help another woman, another female, end domestic violence and get out of a situation is know what is available to them and provide that information to them. There's a lot of underground situations. There's a lot of stuff that help abused men and women escape domestic violence situations. So we definitely want to make sure that our audience knows we stand by you. You tell us how we can help. If you need help, we're here for you. We want you to live and your life matters to us. All right, guys, don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. Good day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.